Hi Fabio.
Hi, Early.
You went to a course last week called Letting Go here at
Mm-hmm.
Braziers. Can you tell me a bit about what you did?
Mm-hmm. So letting go was a shamanic workshop based on the council form. So people rounded in a circle, sharing their experiences and about, as the title suggests, what they were able or ready to let go, what we don't need anymore in our life, or what doesn't serve us anymore. So it was about grieving, um, and also um, it included several ceremonies so that people could be more aware of where we were in our life at this time. Yes.
Okay. And so, what kind of activities did you do?
Well, the activities, yeah, we had different types of activities. The most common one was the council. So, a person who is sharing, who is talking, sharing a moment, for example, guided by a particular questions by the facilitator. And when that person is talking, the other one are listening only without interrupting, and then the conversation keeps going, in a circle, or maybe just whoever feels ready to talk in that particular moment. The person keeps adding something after the first person, and so on and so forth. So everyone has the chance to share their own feelings, more than thoughts. And other activities included medicine walks, which is a particular type of, we could say, meditation walking. um, is based on the idea that we are part of nature. We are uh, we are not just in nature, but we are part of it, right? If it makes sense. So when we go out searching for answers, or just having our doubts, nature is able to mirror this to us, and so to show us in a way the issue from a different perspective. Um, and it's based obviously on a walk that we have in nature, without expectations, without too much planning, um, but just enjoying the moment, like walking on the leaves, feeling the fresh air in your face, looking at the amazing colors, and just feeling inspired, and just having fun.
Mm-hmm.
We had a dance on the second night. He was. I don't want to say too much, so I don't spoil it. But we had a special dance, everybody together, and we had some shamanic journeys through the drumming ceremony, where you are um, shifted in a different realm, the spiritual world, and that's a kind of initiation, in a way that it's exciting, scary at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds it.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of these things that you've said, it really, especially for example, you said we are part of nature, and
Mm.
so through the walk, that was a good way of connecting. The medicine walk, you connected with nature,
Mm.
and Braziers is really a lot about like the about learning in a kind of integrative way. So with different or based on different facets. So like nature,
Mm-hmm.
and another
Mm-hmm.
big thing is group. So how do you think being having a course like this in a group helped the process?
Mm. I think being in a group is really fundamental in this kind of course, because it wasn't a lecture. Obviously, the facilitator gave us a lot of information about how shamanism works, we talked about the medicine wheel, etc. But then the most important part is the sharing moment, because everyone feels safe, in a not, not judged by the others, and so ready to share what they feel, not what they think. And then you start to find similar patterns in other people ideas, in other people sharing, and you see that actually, what you consider maybe to be a weakness is just human nature. So we are made of light but darkness as well, and we maybe are too hard with ourselves. And when you recognize these aspects in other people, in a way, it's very helpful, and it's very nourishing, because you feel that you are part of a community. You feel that people are there to listen to you, and they are there to support you. It's like a continuous process of giving but receiving at the same time, and I think this is very healing in a way. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you said the word community there, and of course we are living here. Braziers is a community. So, do you have anything to say about doing this kind of course in a community, or in a place like Braziers specifically?
I feel particularly inspired to do this workshop in a community like Braziers, because of the nature of Braziers itself. The fact that it's a school, and the fact that it offers many workshops, many courses over the weekends, brings also many people. So there is a constant exchange of energy, with people coming here and ready to open up themselves and to share experiences and tell their stories, because that's what human nature has always done, sitting and tell stories, and we all want to listen and relate to them and tell our part in the story. So the fact that I could do this course here, I guess is even more powerful for me, because I'm also living life here in the community. Not just I didn't just go to the workshop itself, but being part of the community in a way was a kind of in a way enhanced the experience even more, because then I can relate everything I learned in the common daily life in the community with other people at the same time. Also, doing all the daily tasks like housekeeping, working in the garden, working in the kitchen, chopping all the veggies with your care, with your patience, really keeps you in the moment, in the present moment, and makes me feel grounded, makes me feel alive, and so for me there's not such thing like workshop and life in the community, if it makes sense, but I can consider it also as a whole experience. Yes.
Great. Well, final and big question maybe. Well, two questions together. If who would you recommend this kind of course to, and then, and based on that, what kind of or thinking about wider issues in the world today, climate change, for example, what kind of implications do you think a course like this can have for its participants, and then for their kind of relationship with the world and its issues?
I think this kind of workshop can be beneficial to people who are in search. When I say they are in search, I don't mean necessarily there is an issue or there is a problem. I mean people who want to be more aware about where they are in this particular moment of their life. So people who want to live more in a more authentic way, to know what their role is, what their play is in this performance, in this life, and ultimately how to be more connected to yourself. That's for me. So I think everyone will benefit from a workshop like this, like letting go. We are so attached to everything, to possessions, to people, to places, to jobs, to material things, and we don't really understand that this everything is just temporary. And the moment we realize that we are able to let go of these things, and we let go all the layers that compose us, then it's easier, to be just with, it's easier to be more authentic, more truth to yourself and to the others around you. But it's a long process. It's a difficult process. And the other question was how I can relate it to the
to wider issues in the world today. So,
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of the things, a couple of things that you said were about like letting go of
Yes.
material possessions, and also the fact that this course did have an aspect, or maybe all of it, that was very much related to
Yes.
nature.
Yes,
And
I think the letting go workshop or similar shamanic workshops could really connect you to nature. I think there is a big disconnection nowadays with nature. We tend to live with a very fast-paced life. We tend to produce, consume, travel, eat a lot, and we are in a well-being society nowadays. So my generation doesn't really know what it means to struggle, to survive. We take everything for granted, and we, in a way, are very disconnected nowadays from nature, and we don't realize that we are part of it, and we are, we are nature. We are. I always think it's not. I'm not in nature. When I do my walks, I love walking in nature. I always feel I'm very connected with the trees and the leaves and the sky and the birds. So that makes me feel alive. So I think this kind of workshops is very beneficial to those who feel very disconnected and want to have a closer relationship with nature and feel nature in themselves, not just outside, which is very important nowadays.
Yeah, and I think the implications then are pretty clear. The more we're connected to nature, the less we want to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And destroy it.
Yeah.
Or the more conscious we are of the importance, to live in harmoniously.
Yeah, I think in order to live with harmony with nature, we should take more time for ourselves, more time to slow down, more time to take a breath, go a little bit slower, and that's where the magic happens. That's when nature shows up inside of you, and you have not necessarily an answer, a clear answer, but just a good feeling of just being yourself, and just go for it. You don't have to know anything in advance. You don't have to have all the answers straight away. We just have to accept that we don't know. And this doesn't mean that we have to be passive. It means that we have to be, that we, are more accepting. We accept what the universe has prepared or is preparing for us, and we are able to embrace it with happiness, with compassion, and with joy, rather than planning every single step in advance of our life, or how it's going to be, or where we're going to live, because that's, in a way, that makes us feel more secure. But it's a false way of feeling secure, because everything can happen, and then everything changes. So the more you are in accepting change, the easier it is then to to dealing with any unexpected event.
Great. Well, thank you for your words.
Thank you.
Lovely